Kwa mara nyingine tena ninakukaribisha na mamkuzi. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kumbuka ya kwamba dakika chache zilizopita tumeweza kumaliza na mwalimu wetu wa kwanza wa somo la hisabati, na kwa sasa ninamuona mwalimu wa somo la IRE amejitayarisha kuweza kuendeleza programu yake. Mwanafunzi, endelea kutegea uweze kwenda kufaidika. Hili ni somo la IRE na usisahau ya kwamba ni Shifaa Online TV Kenya.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm going to take you through IRE. My name is Mwananzwan Ahmed. So I'm going to take you through IRE class 6, 7 and 8. Our lesson for today, we're going to run the pillars of Islam. So we have 5 pillars of Islam. So I'm going to tackle one after the other. The first one is the Shahada. So Shahada is the first pillar of Islam, and it has 2 parts. The first part is Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. The other one is Wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. So this Shahada, we normally hear it everywhere, every day. The first place or the occasions where we normally hear the Shahada is during the Adhan, time for the Salah. So whenever the Imam or the time for Salah is ready, the Imam normally announces the Adhan. So we hear the Shahada. Then the second occasion, when a person wants to become a Muslim, this is a Christian or any other person of another religion wants to become a Muslim, he or she has to announce the Shahada and believe that there is God and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. And then when we go to sleep, we normally also recite the Shahada. The other occasion is when a person is dying, we are supposed to encourage that person to pronounce the Shahada before he or she dies. The second one is Salah. Salah is also known as the prayer. We normally pray 5 times in a day. We start with the Fajr, it has 2 rakas, and then Dhuhr has 4 rakas, Asri has 4 rakas, Maghrib 3 rakas, and Isha 4 rakas. So any Muslim, a good Muslim, he or she is encouraged to perform all the 5 regular Salahs without missing them. Even when we are sick, we are allowed to pray while lying on the bed or sitting on a chair. So no person is allowed to miss Salah unless maybe we have died. And then when you're performing Salah, we have some of the conditions of Salah. So for somebody to perform this Salah, what are some of the conditions? 1, we are supposed to be clean. How clean? Maybe if a woman is in haid, she is not allowed to pray. Maybe when we have janaba, we have to clean ourselves. Janaba means sexual intercourse. So when we are, for the married people, they're supposed to take the ghusl and then perform the salah. In cleanliness, we're also told al-islamu nadhifu fatanadhafu fa innahu la yadkhulul janna illa nadhif. So as in al-islamu nadhifu, it means that we're supposed to be clean. The place that you're going to pray should be clean. The cloth that you're going to put on, it should be clean. And you yourself are also supposed to be clean by taking udhu. And then the second condition, we're supposed to face Qibla when praying. So for the Muslims, we're supposed to face Qibla when praying and not any other directions. And then the third one, we're supposed to be mature or sane. This means this is somebody who is in her full senses. We all know that we have insane people. These are people whose mind, they are not in they're not working or functioning like any other normal person. Like example, like the people we normally see on the road collecting papers. Now these people are exempted from praying. And then our third pillar of Islam is zakah. So I'm going to talk much about zakah in this our lesson. So zakah is the third pillar of Islam. Zakah is also an ibadah. And then this zakah, it is compulsory for any rich person. Because we are told by Allah, if He has blessed you with wealth, that means He has given you His amana. And then this amana that Allah has given you, you are supposed to use it in the correct way. How are we supposed to use it? We are supposed to give it out to these poor people who Allah has not given them those blessings. Being poor is not a sin or anything. It's also a blessing. So Allah is blessing people in different portions. You can either be rich or poor. The main thing, we're all supposed to worship Allah by performing these regular salahs and believing in Him. So this zakah, it is a commandment of Allah. That means if any person does not give out this zakah, he or she is going to get some sins, and they're going to be answerable in the day of judgment. And then we're also told this zakah, it cleanses the heart of the greed, the pride, and the selfishness and cruelty. That means if we give out, we all know that some of us have greed. We love having cash, lots of money, and then when we have that money, we still want more. We even go at an extent of depriving these other people the opportunity of earning the same money that we still want to have. And then pride, if we have a lot of pride, that means we are going to miss performing this second pillar of Islam. And you know that pride kills our iman. So it is paid by the rich to the poor. It is compulsory for the rich to give out the zakah because they are the trustees of Allah. Trustees, I've told you, this is the amana that Allah has given it to us, and we are supposed also to give it to the other people by giving it to the poor, to the person who feel that he or she needs some help. And then this zakah is divided into two parts. We have zakatul fitri and zakatul mal. So this zakatul fitri, it's normally given out after Ramadan or a day before Eid. And this one, it's given out by everyone, both the poor and the rich. What do we give out? We give out food. So this zakatul fitri, we normally give it out to purify or to cleanse our soul that we have fasted during that month of the Ramadan. And then this zakatul mal, it's normally given yearly. How do we give it out yearly? Let's say I started my saving at February. So I'm going to count a year. We know it has 12 months. So February to the other year, let's say this is 2019. And I started saving, and then February 2020, that is a year. So the amount that I will have saved during this period, I'm going to give it out 2.5% of it. So I will decide if I want to give it to one person or two people or three people according to the amount that you will have saved. So I'm going to show you how we calculate the zakatul mal. That one. So I had saved maybe 10,000. So I want to give out this zakah. How am I going to do it? I'm going to take 2.5% of 10,000. So 2 times 2, that is 4, plus 1, that is 5/2. We have the percentage, so here. Times 10,000. This 0 cancels this one, it cancels this. 2 goes there 1 time, 2 goes there 5. So 5 times 5, that is 25, and then add the 0. So I'm supposed to give out 250. So this 250, you're going to give it. Maybe you put it in an envelope, you give to the number of people that you think you're able to give. Maybe if you want to give it to 2 people, or you can either say, I'll just give it to this one person. But failure to do this, you're going to be answerable to Allah during the day of judgment, because that is an amana you have been given and you are supposed to give it out. And you never did that condition, so you're going to be answerable during that day of judgment. And then in the same topic of zakah, we are going to discuss the people. Who are we supposed to give this 250? We don't just give it to anyone. We have some specific people that we are told in the Holy Quran we are supposed to give. Now our subtopic is going to be the recipients of zakah. Recipients, these are the people who are going to receive the zakah that the giver is going to give to the receiver. So the first one is al-fukara. Who are these al-fukara? These are the poor people. Who are these poor people? These are people who cannot afford to buy the 3 meals that a normal person or any person can afford to buy. Maybe this person can only afford to eat once in a day. So these are the people that we are supposed to give zakah to. And then number 2, these are al-masakin. These are the needy. Who are these needy? These are people who can afford to eat, but maybe they don't have money to pay for their education. Maybe they don't have money to pay for their rent. So these are the other type of people that we are supposed to give zakah to. So I know you must be wondering, we have the poor and the needy. These are 2 different people. Though somehow their conditions, they are the same. These poor are these people that we normally see them sleeping on the roads at night. Maybe during the day we see them, they're just borrowing money. Though in Islam we are told begging is haram, it's not allowed. We are supposed to work. So these people, maybe he or she is supposed to go work, but they can still not afford to pay for the house. They don't have any place to live. Now these are the poor. These needy, they have places to live, but they cannot afford to meet some of their needs. Example, maybe these are the people who live in the slums. For those who know slums, and for those who don't know slums, these are small houses, maybe just people make for them a small place to sleep. They come back in the evening, they can afford to eat something. But these are 2 different people. The third people are amilin. These are the collectors. These are people who go around picking this zakah. Maybe let's say there's an organization that is collecting zakah from the rich people. Now these people are the ones who are going to collect the zakah from these people, and they're the same people who are going to give it out to these poor. And so if this person is going to collect for you the money, we're also going to give him or pay him something. And then the 4th person is Mu'allafatul Qulub. These are the converts of Islam. We have people from different religion. Now, if these people convert to Islam, some of them, their families disown them, so they end up having no one, nothing. Maybe they had a home to live. So if they convert to Islam, their parents disown them, their family members, so they are left homeless. So for any person who converts to our religion, we normally have this zakah, or maybe neighbors can decide to help them. We give them a home to stay, some clothes to wear, the appropriate clothing. We know for a lady we're supposed to cover everything except the face, and for the man we can decide to give him some clothes that he'll be able to go with them to the mosque. For these ladies, we are going to teach them what are we supposed to do in Islam. Islam is an easy and a simple religion. Even just a jalbab, when you just put it on, we are able to pray. We don't need fancy clothes. And then the fifth one are Firrikab. Now, Firrikab, these are the slaves, the prisoners. So we normally pay ransom for them. Maybe this is a slave. He has been working for somebody for a long time. So we are going to pay ransom to this owner so that this slave can be free. Example, during the Prophet's time, Abu Bakr, one day as he was walking, he happened to see a slave. When he saw this slave, he saw he was sleeping on a hot sand. A big stone was on top of him. So he felt pity for him. So he went to the owner and he told the owner, I want to buy this person. So the owner told him, you're supposed to give me this amount of money and I'll give him to you. And from that day, he'll become your slave. So Abu Bakr bought the slave. After buying the slave, he told the slave, I have given you freedom. You can do anything that you want to do. So my question to you, to Delana, who do you think this slave was? The sixth one, Gharimin. These are the debtors. Who are the debtors? These are people who are unable to pay their debts. Example, let's say I have been living in a home and I am a poor person, a needy person. Then I cannot afford to pay the rent, maybe for 6 months. And the owner of the house is really complaining. She or he wants the rent. Now I'm among those debtors. Maybe my neighbors, fellow Muslim, or any other person can collect for me the zakah, and then he comes and clear for me the rent. Or maybe somebody has borrowed a huge amount of money. Maybe he wants to educate his son or his daughter and he's unable to pay back the money. So we are going to take some money from the zakah and we give it to this person so that he can go and clear his debt. And this Gharimin, the debtors, example, you're going to ask a question. What if I go and borrow some money and then you're unable to pay it? These are the people, they have borrowed money and they are unable. They don't have any other means to pay that money back. These are the people we help them or we give them money to. Not maybe like I'm an able person, maybe I'm working and then I just go to my neighbor and tell him, rent me 1,000, and then you're unable to return it. Maybe you have it, but you're feeling selfish. You want people to give it to you. That is not the person we give them. We pay for the debtors the money to. So this person, he has to be a genuine person. He does not have any other means to give it out. And the last person, fi sabilillah. These are the people who they go fight for the cause of Allah. And then the last one is Ibn Sabil. These are the travelers. Maybe I was traveling and then I got stranded on the way. Maybe somebody robbed me everything and then I'm just left at an unknown place with no one. So if the Muslims are around there and they notice me, I am supposed to be given that help so that I can return to my home safely and maybe at an early pace. So these are the travelers, these are lost travelers. Maybe they don't know where they're going, they are lost with nothing to make them reach their final destination. So first we have discussed the recipients of zakah, the people who are supposed to receive zakah. So our another subtopic, who are these people who are not supposed to receive the zakah, the non-recipients. The first one, this is our close family. We all know families consist of a mother, a father, a daughter, a son, a grandmother. Now these are the people we do not give zakah to. If you're married to a husband, if you have married somebody to your wife, so we do not give zakah to these close family members. The second one is a non-Muslim. Zakah is only given to these 8 people that we have mentioned. If he or she is not among these 8 people, then we are not supposed to give them the zakah. The third one, the rich people. So like I said zakah is given to the rich, to the poor. So these rich people, they are not supposed to give zakah to each other. If you're a rich person, you're not allowed to accept any zakah that you're going to be given. Rather, you take that zakah and give it to any of these people who are in need of the zakah. And then the last one, a member from the Prophet's family. So any member coming from the Prophet, peace be upon him, family, a wife, a daughter, a son, a grandson, an uncle, they are not allowed to receive the zakah. Now our another subtopic are differences between Zakatul Fitri and Zakatul Mal. So Zakatul Fitri is paid by everyone. Well, this one is only paid by the rich. Now, how is it paid by everyone? The nights before Eid prayer, people normally give out Zakatul Fitri. Let's say I'm a poor person. I have like 3 neighbors. All of them have brought for me food. Let's say this one brought for me rice, the other one brought for me rice, the third person also brought for me rice 2.5 kg. Now I'm also going to take that rice that I have been given or anything that you're given for the Zakatul Fitri, and you also find somebody who's poorer than you, and then you also go give it to that person. You don't stay and stock that and you say like I'm going to stock this thing for a monthly ration. No, you're going to get sins. Anything that you have and it's going to be excess for you, you're supposed to take the same thing in good quality, in the good condition that you're given, and go find somebody who is much poorer than you and you give this Zakatul Fitri so that it can clean our psalm. Because when we fast, we don't know if our psalm has been accepted. Maybe we lied, maybe we gossiped. So all those little tiny mistakes that we made, when you give us Zakatul Fitri, it's going to be wiped away by this zakat that we have given out. This one, it has no nisab. Well, this one, the wealth must have stayed for 1 year. So must be paid. We said the Zakatul Fitr is paid a day before Eid prayers. Well, this one is paid any time of the year. Like the example I gave, I started saving on February 2019. So 2020 February, my money has reached the nisab. So I'm going to pay any month. Maybe if we started saving January, we'll give us January the other year, February, any month that you will have started saving that money. When it has reached the due duration, you're going to give it out. And then the last one, so it is given in 2.5 kg of staple food. So any staple food that you know, maybe it can be rice, vegetables, anything that is eatable and it's staple. That is what we normally give in the during when we give out for Zakatul Fitr. And then this Zakatul Mal, the rate is 2.5%. The example that we had calculated, the 10,000 that I had saved during the year, that is what we normally give it out. Then our last subtopic, we have the importance of zakah. So what do you think we should give out zakah? One, it is a form of worship. So it is a form of worship or ibadah, because if we do not do it or complete it, we are getting sins. The other one, it is a commandment of Allah. Number 3, it prevents hatred from nurturing grudge among people. How? When we share, we create love among each other. So this hatred will not have any space to it, and then we start hating each other, we do not help each other, and then love disappears. So you as a Muslim or any other person, we are encouraged to share, because sharing is caring. So when we care for each other, we also create a space amongst us in our hearts to love each other. It is a social security and insurance to the recipients of zakah, because when we give this zakah to the recipients of zakah, we create a sense of security to them. Maybe if this person has lots of debts and we pay for that person, that means you're helping this person not to be punished by the law or maybe be taken to the police station. And the last one, it eliminates the gap and the difference between the poor and the rich. If this rich person is able to hold the hand of this poor person, then we're not going to feel any gap or any insecurity or any lack of love, because if we both love each other equally, we do not put wealth, money, the first priority, but we rather put that person our priority, then we are not going to feel this gap. But if we put that gap, how do we fill the gap? This rich is unable to greet this poor person. Maybe because he feels that when he's seen with the poor person, the society will not accept him. The society will look down at him and say, how can this rich person walk with this poor person? But if we put this person as our priority and give him any importance, we greet, we give without thinking, then Allah we're going to first to get rewards from Allah, because we're all being brought to this world to worship Him and not to discriminate each other. And our fourth pillar of Islam is Sawm. What is the meaning of Sawm? It means fasting. We fast during the month of Ramadan. For either 29 or 30 days. So this Sawm takes place in the month of Ramadan. It either has 29 or 30 days. This is a special month that you normally have in our calendar. It's among the sacred months. So what is so special about this month? We have the Tarawih. We also have the what do you call it? Laylatul Qadr. That is the speciality of the Ramadan. And then the last one is Hajj. This one normally occurs in Dhul Hijjah. So thank you. For our next lesson, we're going to discuss the Sawm and the Hajj at large. Have a nice day.